Hey guys, my name is Batimio, and today's challenge, I have finally caved into your guys' request because I know this has been something that you've wanted for a very, very long time, and that is to use the Scout Elite bolt-action rifle with the 40x scope and the suppressor. This setup is bad. It is really, really bad. And honestly, I don't even know why anyone would want to use this normally because it's a complete contradiction of itself. The Scout Elite is normally a decent weapon when used appropriately, and that is when you're trying to play as an aggressive recon, because if you're up close and personal, you get that one-shot killing potential for headshots. But the further out the target goes, that one-shot killing potential goes completely down the drain. Up close and personal, it does do 100 damage per shot, but then at 100 meters out, it's only going to do 36.6 damage per bullet. That means that even if you get a headshot at those extreme distances, and I actually wouldn't even say 100 meters out is all that extreme, like that's pretty standard for a bolt-action rifle, but at 100 meters out, it's going to require 2 bullets to drop your target even if you get a headshot in there. If you're not even able to get a headshot, it's going to require 3 bullets to take out your target. That is going to take you a very long time to drop someone. If you have to get 3 shots into your enemy, at that point they probably realize that someone is trying to take them out. They're going to duck behind cover and you're not going to be able to secure that kill. And so realistically, you're going to want to use the Scout Elite up close and personal. You want that one-shot killing potential. That is what sniping is all about in the Battlefield franchise, or really in any first-person shooter, and so you're going to want to avoid those long-range shots like the plague. Another reason why this is a close encounter weapon is that the Scout Elite has a very fast rounds per minute compared to a lot of the other bolt-action rifles. It's got an RPM of 63, and so if you're up close and personal and there are a lot of enemies nearby and you need to take out and dispatch of them very quickly, you have the RPM to do so. And it's for those reasons why this is a close encounter weapon. Like, you do want to play it aggressively. But because I'm using the 40x scope, every single time I played aggressively to take advantage of its damage model up close and personal, like I did not want to deal with trying to get multiple shots into my targets, I basically was peering into my enemy's soul. Like, this is a complete contradiction. Every single time I zoomed in, I was looking at the retina of my enemy. It has that much magnification, and so when I'm running around, and that's clear what you guys wanted me to do, you wanted me to play aggressively, the challenge of that, though, was just pretty much figuring out where my enemies were once I zoomed in to try to take them out. There were a lot of moments when I would zoom in and I would have no idea what I was looking at. I would be like, is that a bush? Am I looking at the side of a wall? Is that a container? What is that thing? And that's just simply because the magnification is so high. And if I tried to reacquire or figure out where my enemy was while aiming down sight, it was almost impossible. Like, trying, especially if they're moving, good luck trying to reacquire your target. And so every single time I did not have a clear shot on my enemy, or I had no idea where they were, I would zoom back out to reacquire at least somewhat of an idea of where they were heading, and then zoom back in to try to reacquire my target. That seemed like the only effective way at making this thing work, and even still, it was a nightmare to try to just acquire my targets that way. Another thing that I had to work around is that the Scout Elite has one of the largest bullet drops out of the bolt-action rifles. It has a bullet drop of 15 meters per second squared, and while this only really has a large impact for long-range combat, once again just reinforcing the fact that you want to use this up close and personal, even within a medium distance, if the target is like 30 to 40 meters out, you still have to aim fairly high above the target's head to line up that headshot. And then on top of that, if all of that wasn't enough, because I was using the suppressor, while it kept me off the minimap and allowed me to get some nice little flanks off and catch my enemy by surprise, which was one nice aspect of the setup, it also reduced my bullet's travel speed. And because it reduced the travel speed, it also made it so that I had to lead my targets more if they were running, and it also increased the bullet drop. And so there were some moments when I was trying to line up a shot on my enemy, they would be moving, and because I had to lead the target and I had to aim above their head, I almost couldn't even see what I was shooting at. I would basically have to predict their movement, make the adjustments, predict and aim above and to where they were heading, and take the shot and then cross my fingers that they didn't deviate from that path, and then hopefully get the kill. When I was able to pull that off, which wasn't very often because it was ridiculously hard to do so, I got chills down my body. Like, I felt like a badass. And honestly, because of those moments, it made this entire ridiculous challenge what I thought was going to be just a nightmare, and I thought I was going to dread it, and it was going to be the worst experience of my life. It was because of those moments that made it all worth it. Like, it was so incredible when I was able to pull it off. I felt like an amazing Rambo-style shooter. It was so much fun to pull off those maneuvers. It made this ridiculous challenge worth it. But other than those select moments, the way that I had to approach this challenge was pretty much going for stationary targets as often as I possibly could. Because of the slower travel speed, because of the suppressor, and the large bullet drop, going for moving targets was just not a viable option. And so if I could find someone who was a camping sniper, or if I could find someone who was trying to take out my ally or a teammate, they were in a firefight with someone, I was going to go for them like 100% of the time. Like, those were easy pickings, and I say easy pickings with quotation marks because of the 40 times scope, and just acquiring my targets was a challenge, but that was basically the only way that I was going to be able to go on kill streaks. And when I had that mentality and I incorporated it on over into my gameplay and also used the suppressor effectively by keeping myself off the minimap, that's when I was able to somehow surprisingly go on some incredible kill streaks. There were some moments when I was like, I shouldn't even be able to do this. Like, I just killed 6 people in a row with this ridiculous setup. Am I just really, really good? Is the enemy just really, really bad? It's just a lot of luck that I'm having right now? Because I just killed 6 people in a row, and honestly, that just shouldn't even be possible with this loadout. And so overall, while I had a lot of fun with this, and surprisingly, it wasn't a nightmare that I thought it was going to be, I wouldn't recommend this for competitive play. Like, it is a complete contradiction. If you try to take advantage of the 40 times scope, you're going to have to get at least 2 or 3 bullets into your enemy. If you try to play up close and personal, you're going to peer into the enemy's soul with the 40 times scope. Like, it's just awful. Like, this is a terrible setup. But that is about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a terrible setup that you would like me to try next, let me know down below in the comment section, and also make sure to thumbs up those recommendations. It gives me a good idea as to which ones you want me to try next. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.